Welcome to Sunrise with Scoots. Now, here's your host, Justin Kalen.
Happy Tuesday to you as we've arrived here at August 25th, 2026. This is Sunrise with Scoots here on Big X Sports Radio. Glad to have you along for the ride this morning. And to all of you that have been clamoring for it, we are live on the YouTube this morning. YouTube, Big X YouTube stream fueled by Thornton's. Power up with great coffee, fuel, and discounts at every stop. If you've got an interest in watching on the YouTube, all you got to do is head over to Big X Sports Radio Louisville. You can find me there. Excited to be on YouTube today. Hopefully I don't screw it up too much. I don't think it's a little bit too extra, but I'm excited to be on there for you all today and excited to bring you all this award-winning show. We have got a little bit to talk about. We are kind of in the doldrums of summer now, coming to the end of Summer Talk Radio, but we've still got about a week left of Summer Talk Radio, so hit me up on the Gameday Mens Health text line this morning. 502-414-1450 is that number. Would absolutely love to hear from you this morning, so hit me up there again, 502-414-1450, and give me just a minute. I'm trying to reset the Adobe here so I can record the show. It is not wanting to work with me this morning, so that is not a good start on this Tuesday. But like I said, we do have plenty to discuss this morning. I want to talk some I have to continue to talk the NFL pipeline to college football. I don't like it, but we got more news yesterday regarding LSU. Lane Kiffin came out and had some things to say. I don't know what to make about what Lane Kiffin said, so we'll get into that here as the show goes along. We've got some news on R.J. Lewis as well. Got to talk some baseball. Big night for a player who had a great year last year, but has not been good this year. So maybe he's back, maybe he's not. We'll find that out, try to discuss that together. And then got some news on Royce White and Freedom Cantor as well that I've got to get into. Again, it's one of those things like college football, talking about all the transfers and all that I feel like we've been talking about WNBA a lot lately. So we got to talk a little bit more about that here today. So like I said, we do want to hear from you on the Gameday Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450 is that number. Already got a few in, so appreciate you early texters as always. All right, and before we get into anything from the sports world, you know how we like to start each and every show, and that's by bringing you your joke of the day. Maybe. What is going on with this computer today? Well, I might be able to bring you... There we go.
Who wants to have some fun?
Okay, I need more jokes, people.
You want to tell us a joke?
I have a joke for you.
Are you ready to laugh?
That's funny.
Waka waka. Who wants to hear a funny ass joke?
A rather rotund man is seated at a restaurant, and the waiter brings him an enormous steak. A friend of the man happens to walk by and says, "Surely you're not going to eat that monstrosity alone." The man says, "Of course not. I also ordered mashed potatoes." There you go. There is your joke of the day to kickstart us on this Tuesday. Appreciate you being along for the ride. If you're checking me out on that Thornton's YouTube, appreciate you for that. And let's have some fun this morning. Let's have some fun. First, let me get this podcast started. Not really sure what's going on with the speed of this computer today, but here we are. All right, so there we go. Podcast started. Podcast listeners, you missed the joke of the day. You missed the beginning of the show because my computer in here was acting wonky. But is what it is. We're used to that by now. All right, speaking of used to that by now, I'm going to start with baseball this morning because my Cincinnati Reds lose again last night, 5-0. I'm used to that by now. You want to talk about things I'm used to? Those are some things I'm used to. But we also had a big night for one Cal Raleigh, the big dumper out in Seattle. Had his first career 3-homer game. That shocked me this morning when I read that. Because when you think back to the season Cal Raleigh had a year ago, 60-plus homers is what he ended up hitting. and not a single time he had a 3-homer game. So that was wild. He came out after the game and said he had never done that before at any level. High school, college, you name it. He has never hit 3 homers in a game. So that was pretty insane. But he has had just an awful year. 159 was his batting average prior to the game last night. Did finish 3 for 3, so he bumped that up to 167. But you want to talk about a guy who was in the MVP discussion last year. Did he? He did win. No, he was runner-up. That's right. So runner-up for the American League MVP last year. Ended with 60 homers, 125 RBIs. And this season has been not even a shell of what he was last season. I mean, he's only got, I want to say, 60-some hits this year. And last year he had 60-some homers. That's a pretty insane difference for Cal Raleigh. But a big night for him as the Mariners got the win 9-2. Philadelphia Phillies is who they were playing. Phillies had a 9-game winning streak, but that was snapped after last night's loss. So there you go with that. Let's take a look at some of the other baseball happenings from last night. You got the Red Sox 4-2 over the Marlins. Rays 4-1 over the Tigers. Nationals all over the Rockies 13-3. You had the Rangers take care of the White Sox 11-2. White Sox, they're slipping a little bit. We'll check those standings here coming up. Guardians over the Angels 4-2. Cubs shut out the Diamondbacks 7-0. Twins over the A's 9-6. I mentioned that Mariners 9-2 win. Padres lose to the Pirates in 12, 3-2. And then, as I mentioned, the Reds fall to the Giants 5-0. Despite it being Chase Burns Day, he takes his 3rd loss of the season, now 14-3, and just was not great. 3.2 innings pitched, 9 hits allowed, 5 earned runs, only had 5 strikeouts. He's been much better than that at times this season. So, hated seeing that, but is what it is. Reds lose again. Nobody should be surprised by that. All right, let's check out the standings now. So, American League East, you've still got the Rays on top by 3.5 games, followed by the Yankees. White Sox are still leading that American League Central, but like I said, they've been struggling, and that division has gotten closer, as now only 2.5 games up over Cleveland is Chicago. You've got the Rangers in control of the American League West right now. However, they are only a half game above the Astros, who are playing really good baseball as of late. So Rangers, White Sox, Rays, those are your 3 division leaders on the American League side of things. On the National League side of things, I could not think of what the league was called there for a minute. Braves up 3.5 in the National League East. You got the Brewers 5.5 up over the Cubs in the Central. And then the Dodgers, they're running away with it, 9.5 up over the Padres. Dodgers 80-51. Second best record in the league right now, it is the Brewers at 81-50. So Braves, Brewers, Dodgers, they are your leaders on the National League side of things. Let's check out our wild card standings because they've gotten closer on the National League side of things. They've gotten a little further apart on the American League side. So you do have the Guardians. They are in that final wild card spot right now behind the Yankees and the Red Sox. However, the Astros, just a half game behind them. Twins and Blue Jays, 2 games back. You got the Orioles, 2.5. Mariners, 3. Tigers, 4.5. That's going to be a lot of fun coming down the stretch. We've got, 33 games left, 30 games left. So it's high time you start paying attention. It's going to get real fun real quick. In the National League, you've got the Cubs and Phillies. Feels like they're somewhat locked in unless the Phillies just go on a big slide. They're 2 games up over that 3rd place wild card spot that the Padres currently hold. However, the Diamondbacks 2 games behind them. Marlins 4 games back. Cardinals 5 games back. Anyone else I don't see catching up to that wild card spot. So we'll continue to look at these standings as we get closer and closer to the baseball postseason. Like I said a few weeks ago, this is really the time of the year where I like paying attention to baseball. It's fun because you got so many standings changing and all that to follow. It's an absolute blast. So love that. And then I don't believe we had any action last night, but we do have the Little League World Series back underway tonight as we are coming down to nearing the championship series. You've got a handful of teams left on each side of the bracket now, from the international side of things and the American side of things. And you did have baseball last night. Hamilton, Ohio beats Bourne, Texas 6-1. So Texas is out. And then you got Phoenix City, Alabama over Westchester, Pennsylvania 6-5. Pennsylvania is out. And then tonight you will get Washington and Alabama, and then Ohio and New Jersey. Both of those elimination games. On the other side, you got Japan and Mexico, and then Canada taking on Korea. Both of those are elimination games. So if you ain't got anything to do tonight, actually those start pretty early. That Japan-Mexico game, 1 o'clock on ESPN. You've got the Washington-Alabama game at 3, and then Canada-Korea at 5, and Hamilton, Ohio, and New Jersey at 7. So there you go. There's your update on Little League Baseball as well. And with that, we're going to head over to the Gameday Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. Ohio guy, first per usual, says, did you see the Alabama Little League team come back from down 5-0 in the 4th inning to win the game over Pennsylvania? Well, how about that? How about a timely text there, Ohio guy? I did not see that. Like I said, I did not fire up any Little League Baseball last night. It was the roommate's birthday. We were just sitting there chilling. I think he turned on a movie at some point, so just wasn't really in the mood to fire up any sports last night, so I just hung out on the recliner. Actually, went to bed pretty dang early. It was probably 9:15. So I'm well rested on this Tuesday. TJ Walker, the sports talker, says, I demand my money back. I don't know what you mean, TJ. If I owe you money, let me know. I'll send it your way when I get it, because I don't have it. I'm poor as all get out. Demand my money back. I'm guessing you fired up the YouTube. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. 48 Handley says, give me Royce White in that affair. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I don't know what you mean here, 48 Handley, but we're going to talk about that. No doubt about it. Texter says, who is Otto? Well, that's the one thing about the YouTube stream that I'm not going to be a big fan of. Y'all get to see what I wear every day. Otto he was the prosecutor in Harrison County. Well, he is now going to be the judge in November. He's running unopposed, so he's got that on lockdown. But yeah, Otto Schalk, good guy. He's always in our studio over there in Corden, so have interacted with him on several occasions. He's a great dude. Going to make a great judge. That is who Otto is. Buzz texted in and he says, Burns should be in the Cy Young discussion, but it's hard to put anyone over the Miz. Historic season from him. Yeah, and a lot of times, Buzz, doesn't team success have to go into that as well? And quite frankly, the Reds have not been nearly good enough. You can't give Cy Young to a guy whose team is 20 games below 500. When you've got a guy like the Miz whose team is in first and in control of the division, and like you said, having the season he is. And look, nobody expected the Brewers to do what they're doing this year. Should we have seen it coming? Maybe, because this is what the Brewers do every single year. But yeah, when you've got a pitcher like him that's firing 105 miles an hour, that's the guy that's probably going to get Cy Young. Burns, if the Reds were respectable, Burns would be in the discussion. But they're not respectable. That's all there is to it. Jamie texts in, says, go Cubs, go. The one hope to take out the Dodgers. I hope anyone takes out the Dodgers, Jamie. Anyone. I don't really even care who it is. Just somebody beat them. Man, they're annoying. All right. I'm up against my first break here, so I'm going to go ahead and take that now. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get back into the Gameday Men's Health text line because you all have loaded it up this morning. Do want to talk some NFL to NCAA pipeline. Who saw that coming? Same thing with the NBA to college basketball. So a lot more to get into. We'll get into the Royce White, Freedom Cantor stuff as well, despite not really wanting to, but we've got to. We absolutely have to. So all that coming up for you here on the other side as soon as my music loads. There it is. And we'll be back with more Sunrise with Scoots here on Big X Sports Radio.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be
Back here, Sunrise with Scoots on your Tuesday, August 25th. Appreciate you being along for the ride this morning. And before we go any further, big shout out to my best buddy Jake. It's his birthday today, the big 3-7. That's right, had the roommate's birthday yesterday, who's also a friend of mine for what it's worth. And then my best buddy in the whole world, Jake, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to him. Hopefully he has a great day, even though I know he's not listening. Already texted him, so it's fine. It's fine. Well, welcome back in here. Sunrise with Scoots here on Big X Sports Radio. Gameday Men's Health text line remains open for you at 502-414-1450. If you've got any thoughts you want to have read on today's show, just send them in there. We will get to those here shortly. But first, I do have to remind you about Gameday Men's Health. You all got me, first of all, before I get to the Gameday Men's Health read, y'all have got me on the YouTube this morning. By the way, you can go search Big X Sports Radio Louisville, find me there, powered by Thornton's. But I do this weird thing when I do radio all the time that I now am going to have to be cognizant of. But anytime I'm doing one of those reads and I'm trying to do it from memory, I always do the thing where I close my eyes, and I don't know how that's going to come off. So y'all have got me self-conscious this morning. I just want you to know that. But you can go to GamedayMensHealth.com. They can get you help with all kinds of things, whether it's testosterone, peptides, weight loss, or sexual performance therapy. They are defining a new era in men's health. That's GamedayMensHealth.com. So head over there and shoot me a text on the Gameday Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. All right, we're going to go back there right now because PRTG has sent in his fact of the day. He says this sounds like something that would happen today. This was back in 1835. The Great Moon Hoax takes off. New York's The Sun began running a series of news accounts on this day that falsely claimed British astronomer John Herschel had observed all sorts of life on the moon, including blue unicorns, bipedal beavers, and winged humans. The stories became a global sensation after being exposed as fiction. Though The Sun never retracted them, the Great Moon Hoax remains one of the history's most famous media hoaxes. That's interesting, PRTG, but I've got to disagree with you. I do not feel like this is something that could happen today with all the technology and that rover that's up on the moon, or is it at Mars? Well, either way, all the stuff we know about Mars and about the moon and have seen about the moon, I don't know that they could get away with that. Now, are there a large faction of people that don't believe in all that stuff? They don't believe that the moon's a real thing, or heck, I've talked to people that don't believe in space. And it's like, wait, what? If you go outside at night and look up, that is reason alone to believe in space. But there are some weird conspiracy theorists out there, so maybe you could get them to fall for this, but I don't think in the year 2026, nearly 200 years after this came out, I don't think you're going to fool anybody with that. But that's a good one. I like it. I like it a lot. 48 Handley says, White called him out, challenged him to a fight. So I'm guessing you're talking Freedom Cantor, because I did not see this. I know that they were both deemed ineligible due to the fact that they're, not women, but I did not see Royce White call out Freedom. I'm about to look for that because that's fascinating. John texted in. He says, John here. All right, Justin, by now we've seen what the SEC said about players leaving college athletics to go pro. Some stories are different than others depending on the level. This is Big Tuesday. This is big. Tuesday, the meeting day for SEC presidents and ADs. Those 2 days will go a long way towards shaping the future of college athletics with this 5-for-5 situation and beyond. For some players, though, I think eligibility still holds this season. A lot wasn't settled under the 5-for-5 rules yet, and lawsuits have the SEC and NCAA's hands tied. They could set new rules going forward, but with a hard deadline starting next fall, guess what? Guess that's what you're going to get when you're not prepared. Most guys should still play this year, including Mitchell at Kentucky. Same situation this time next year. They'd be ineligible under the new rules that will come with we'll come up with the compliment, the 5 for 5. We'll got to go talk to you later. Yeah, John, a lot of good stuff there. I think you're spot on. I mean, and I've said it on Just the Cats. I'm sure you all have heard me, but if you're the NCAA in this situation, just throw a blanket over the whole thing. Just grant everybody eligibility right now for next season. That way your hands aren't tied with lawsuits, and you're not having to hear if I hear the word injunction one more time this week, I'm going to lose it. I mean, that has been the hot word on the street the last week or so. I don't need to hear it anymore. But yeah, if you just throw a blanket over all these guys, say, do whatever you want, go play wherever you want, we don't even care, that would save them a lot of time and a lot of issues. But I still, John, like I said yesterday, there is still a small part of me that worries about playing like a Mark Mitchell. There is a small part of me that thinks maybe this doesn't go over well. Or the Lane Kiffin guys. We talked about Daquan Wright yesterday. Well, then you get the news that not only are they going to sign him, but you're going to sign, let me get the name of this other guy, coming from the Saints. I mean, it's just nuts what we're doing here. Well, now I can't find it. There it was. All right, so that's about a trade. Let me see if I can track that down real quick, because I want to get his name right, because it's insane. It is coming from the Saints. He got cut, so it's a similar situation from Daquan Wright. Like, this guy never played for the New Orleans Saints. But my thing is, you made your decision. You made that decision to leave college and go try out the NFL. And I get it. It didn't go the way you wanted. You didn't get drafted. But you know what? Isn't life like that? Don't we all, on a yearly basis, struggle with things like that? We don't always get what we want. But yeah, we are teaching these guys that if they did not get the draft position they wanted, or they're not going to see the playing time that they wanted in professional sports, that, it's okay. You can come back to the college level. We get it. You're still growing up. I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. And then you have Lane Kiffin coming out yesterday and saying, well, I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. I'm doing what every other coach is doing. Oh, really, Lane? Why have we not heard about any other NFL player going back to college? Every single one of them are going to LSU. I've not seen any other school land an NFL guy. And if I'm wrong in that, let me know, because I very well could be. But it's ridiculous. And then he answers later in that same media, whoever he was talking to at the time. But he has a quote at the end, and he was like, well, at the end of the day, should they be allowed to come from NFL to back to college? And he said something along the lines of, well, it doesn't matter what I think. The answer would be no. Okay, so you agree that this is all a bunch of BS. But because it's unregulated, I guess is the word I'm looking for, you feel that you can go out and do it. I hope all these guys that are going to LSU end up ineligible. And I'm never rooting against a kid. I never, ever, ever want to do that. But in this situation, I'm rooting against Lane Kiffin. I think he's a loser. I think the way he left Ole Miss right before that playoff run to go coach at LSU was really dorky. And now he wants to go back and cry about it. Not a Lane Kiffin guy. And all this stuff is just getting muddier and muddier. But I do believe that I don't care if you were going to play or not, or if you even got into a game. If you are at the next level, you can't come back to college. You just can't do it. And we talked about it yesterday, some of the reasonings as to why. It's ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe that we have had to have these discussions for the amount of time that we have. And then you get the whole R.J. Lewis thing yesterday as well. He's going to be allowed to play, it seems like, for LSU this season, thanks to a Louisiana judge yesterday that gave him a temporary injunction to play. But again, just like the Mark Mitchell situation, if I'm LSU and Will Wade down there, do I feel good about playing R.J. Lewis? I I don't think so. It feels like one of those situations that at the end of the year could come back and bite you in the butt. And Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, he's against all of this. But yet all of his members, not all of them, but his members continue to do goofy stuff like this, most notably LSU. LSU just feels shady, man. They feel shady. Telling you. I don't know what it is about them, but I'm not an LSU fan. And I'm definitely not a fan of players going from the professional leagues, dropping back down into college. At some point, we've got to draw a line. And it doesn't feel like anybody wants to step up and try to draw that line. Something has to be done. I just wish there was somebody competent in power that also realized that, because it doesn't feel like there is. Crazy stuff there, man. Crazy stuff. All right, let's go back to the Gameday Mens Health text line, 502-414-1450. Buzz text back in, says, check what Steve Carlton did his first year with the Phillies. Got that pulled up here, Buzz. So, Steve Carlton, 1972 was his first year with the Phillies, went 27-10, accounting for nearly 46% of the last place Phillies totaled 59 victories. That's pretty crazy, Buzz. First of all, for Steve Carlton to get 37 starts, maybe even more than that, to be honest with you, that's pretty nuts. In today's day and age, you're only getting about 32, 33. But he led the National League with a 1.97 ERA, had 310 strikeouts, captured the Triple Crown, and won the Cy Young. So that's an argument against me, is what you're trying to do there, Buzz. Because I said Chase Burns can't win it if the Reds are not good. Well, there's an example of a Phillies team that was 59-97, yet they still had a Cy Young pitcher. So I see what you're doing there, Buzz, but Chase Burns' numbers not even close to that. I mean, what's he at, 14 wins? I want to say he's at 14-3 now. So while that is impressive, it's not half of the Reds' victories. I think that's what makes the Steve Carlton thing so impressive. The fact that it was nearly half of their wins came from his arm. Pretty impressive stuff there. But I appreciate you educating me this morning, Buzz. Jamie texts back in, says, sadly, I think the WNBA likes this attention for all the wrong reasons. Instead of using common sense and saying the league is for women, thus the W, they want to be political and take away from on-court performances. The WNBA kind of feels like a league at the top with Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and some of her comrades, that their priorities are all jacked up. It feels like their priorities are all out of line. And they don't really know where to navigate from here. And that's unfortunate, because whether you like the WNBA or not, I check out a game here and there, probably, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 12 a year. It has gotten to be a pretty good league. It's entertaining to watch. You've got enough players across the league, like I said yesterday, that are just balling out, that makes it a lot of fun. The only thing that takes it a step down from the NBA is the fact that these girls can't dunk. Now, you got Brittany Griner out there jamming them home, but how good is she anymore? And honestly, the dunks she is putting in aren't really all that impressive. But it still is a beautiful league. The way they play basketball, it's fun. Now, do you have goofy moments? Yeah, but you get those in NBA games too. So, is what it is. I just think they're a goofy league up top. It feels like they need a new commissioner. All right, one more text here, then we'll head over to our next break. Come back on the other side. We'll continue with the Gameday Mens Health text line. You all have been outstanding today, so appreciate you for that. Lexington Texter says, which new woman would you rather have sexual relations with? Enos Kanter or Royce White? I'm going to say neither, Lexington Texter, because they are not women. So you're not fooling me. They may fool the WNBA, but you're not fooling me. He also says, once football season gets underway, you're not going to do this PRTG brutal fact thing every day, right? Some of you like it, some of you don't. We'll see. We'll see when football season comes around, but why not? It's only a couple minutes of the show. I don't see why I should quit, but maybe I do. We'll see. All right. I'm going to take that break now. We'll come back on the other side. We've got one final segment. Going to be a fun one. So we go back to the Game Day Men's Health text line. We'll talk some more Cantor and White stuff as well. I'll get you caught up on exactly what went down with all that yesterday. But hang right there. We've got more Sunrise with Scoots coming up next on Big X Sports Radio.
walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot at redemption. Don't want to...
Back here, Sunrise West Scoots, one final segment for your Tuesday, August 25th. First day live on the Thornton's YouTube channel. You can go over to Big X Sports Radio Louisville to find that. Find my ugly face right there on the screen. But don't forget Thornton's, quality fuel, fresh food, and friendly service. Earnify helps make every visit count. Members save 5 cents per gallon every day. You can earn points on fuel and convenience purchases and receive a 250-point welcome offer. Download the Earnify app today and start earning at Thornton's. I'm a member of that Earnify app. It is a great, great value. The amount of times that I walk in there, walk up to the counter to purchase something, type in my number, and it's like, oh, it's free. Sweet. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. That happens all the time. And that can happen with you if you get that Earnify app from Thornton's. All right, y'all have been incredible on the Gameday Men's Health text line today, so we're going to head back there right now, see what you all have got to say to close out the show this morning. We will have you taken care of all day here on Big X Sports Radio. Matt Dennison back in studio today for Hoosier Report. You'll have Spears on Sports 10 to 11. Just the Cats coming up after me, 8 to 10. Kentucky Roll Call, Mike Rutherford, all of it on the air for you today. So make sure to stay tuned in with us on Big X. 48 Handley texts in. He says, he says, White has a conservative talk show on Real America's Voice. I heard him say it on there. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into that. I believe you. I have to look into that. That's fascinating. Yeah, I would. But you're taking Royce White? Really? I think I'd go Freedom. If those two were to duke it out, I think I'm probably going Freedom. He's just bigger. But a lot of times, the smaller guy can make the bigger one look silly. So maybe I'm on the wrong side of that. 48 Handley also says, glad to get the moon info. I have a moon vine in my garden. Oh, there you go. Glad PRTG can help you out this morning. Ohio guy says, Lane Kiffin never thinks anything he does is wrong. That's a good point. It's a good point, Ohio guy, and I should have thought about that. He is very much like that. God, I hate that guy. Illinois texter says, either they are good enough to stay in the pros or they need to put the fries in the bag. Don't like this going back to college ordeal. I'm with you. I mean, at some point, go find a job. You don't have to go work at a fast food restaurant. I mean, heck, there's going to be options for you, right? If you're a basketball player, you've got overseas options. You've got G League, which I know doesn't pay a whole lot, but it's still, you're getting paid to play basketball. NFL, heck, drop down to the UFL. Go to Canada at the CFL. I don't care. But you shouldn't be allowed to come back and join the fold back in college. Just shouldn't be able to. Texter says, you are the only person I've heard say the WNBA is fun to watch. And that's fine. You can give me crap for that. I hear Michael Bennett in the other studio laughing beside me. That is funny to a lot of people. But if you're a true sports fan and you tune in the WNBA, it's entertaining. There are some very entertaining games. You can laugh all you want. That's fine. I'm good with that. I like it, especially when you got the Indiana Fever playing. That's just good, fun basketball. And I'll never apologize for my stance with WNBA, ever. John texts in again, says, hey, Justin, did some of those athletes only make that decision because they did not have no option or time left in their college athletic careers, but because of the 5-for-5, it opened a pathway? That pathway did not have good guidelines. So these guys are using what is available to them. We'll got to go. Talk to you later. Yeah, and you're right, John. You're exactly right. I mean, I'm not hating on the players for this because they are playing by the rules. They are doing what is available to them. And you see this a lot with college athletics now. You can't hate on anybody about it because they're following the rules. My point is, the rules are stupid, and the NCAA should have been way out in front of this. But they weren't, per usual, because they're morons. John texts in again, says, sorry to keep going on this, Justin. I found a quote from Yahoo Sports article, and it gives us a little more insight into what happened with this situation. When the NCAA passed the rule, it intended the 5-year, 5-season window to apply to future recruits starting in fall 2027. By leaving out the class of 2022 athletes who just finished their 4th year of sports, the NCAA unintentionally opened the floodgates to legal and roster mess. Wow, what a mess up by the NCAA. I mean, you had to see that coming, though. That's what they do. They mess up everything. That's part of their allure, right? I mean, it was never going to be right to leave those 2022 athletes out, but what about the 2021 athletes? I guess they probably got a COVID year. But still, yeah, I mean, it's like everything the NCAA does. They just do it and don't even think about it. That's a dangerous way to live. Jamie says, Cantor just needs to challenge White to a location he can't get to without flying. Ouch. Wild, a professional athlete, is scared to fly. As for the moon, I know it's not real anymore because I saw it get blown up by Bugs Bunny when I was a kid. Suck it, Scoots, and check the back seat. Yeah, Jamie, I hate to tell you, Bugs Bunny also not real. Was a cartoon. I love that, though. Love that text. Need to do the walk theme. Now, walk like a man. Timely. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk this way. Walking on the sun. All right. I could probably sneak in a walk theme. It will not be today on Just the Cats because I don't know if y'all knew this, but it's Corey Price's birthday today, and he's going to join us for the entire 2 hours of Just the Cats, and he is picking the music today. I gave him freedom with the music. I was kind of scared, but he's got a good list put together, so you'll enjoy it. Back to School was a good Rodney Dangerfield movie, but not for these athletes. Although Chris Winkie did leave baseball and come back to win the Heisman. Oh, man, that opens a whole new can of worms. What if you go from one sport to another? Like, what if some of these NFL guys that were coming back to college were going to play baseball? Would I still feel the same way about it that I do now? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. Lexington texter, wow, a rare agreement with me here on the text line. He says, Caitlin Clark and the Fever are entertaining. Oh, there you go. There's another take. If you watch the Fever play, I'm telling you, it's good basketball. It's fun basketball. Buzz texts in, says, elite players are coddled most of their lives. Why should we think they don't want special privileges at all times? Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that, Buzz. I can't argue with that at all. It's just a mindset for those players. And you're right. You're right to call them out. The WNBA, hang on. Let me make sure I got the right one. All right. The WNBA is the only major professional sports league that relies on handouts to survive, predominantly the NBA and activist organizations. The commissioner and coaches are beholden to those who pay their salary, which explains a lot. I, for one, can't wait for football to take over the sports world. Oh, I'm right there with you. I mean, I need football like I need air. I really, really do. So I'm jacked up for football starting, what, this weekend? We do not have any more weekends without football until what, February? That's awesome. Sign me up for that. Jimmy Ref texts in, says Scooter Carlton was part of a 4-man rotation before info about Tommy John and innings restriction preventing injuries. Let's shut down Burns. That makes more sense as to how he had so many starts. Appreciate you letting me know that, Jimmy Ref. By the way, appreciate you all watching on the YouTube as well this morning, powered by Thornton's. It's been a blast being with you this morning. I didn't know how this would go. Turns out it was okay. And thanks for watching. Thanks for texting into the show. You all have been tremendous this morning. It was a lot of fun being here on this Tuesday. And with that, we're going to head over to Michael Bennett. He comes up next here on Big X Sports Radio. Just the Cats, 8 to 10. Michael, good morning. What's up?
Good morning. Not much. How are you?
I'm living the dream. I heard you laughing over there in my WNBA take, so I appreciate
Oh,
you for that.
I wasn't laughing at you.
No, you were laughing at the text. Yeah.
No, I wasn't laughing at any of that. I had something else going on.
Oh, funny joke over there?
Yeah, that's
Telling
exactly
yourself?
what it was. Yeah. Listen, you can say it's entertaining all you want. I won't watch a single game. I think it's boring basketball.
And that's
I
fine.
barely watch the NBA anymore because I think it's become boring basketball. It's just I'm college sports. I love college basketball. I love college football. But yeah, when you get all political, that's when I stop watching, and that's what the WNBA has become.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So I have a buddy who, we were at the lake last weekend, and he was telling me, he was like, yeah, I really liked Luke Combs. I was a big fan of his music. And then he came out with his political beliefs and said this or that. And it's like, you can enjoy, no matter what it is, music, sports, whatever. You can enjoy all that without having to go into the politics of it.
Yes.
I mean, he basically told me he doesn't listen to Luke Combs anymore because of his political beliefs. And it's like, well, you can.
I get it.
I don't know Luke Combs' political beliefs. I've never seen anything about what his beliefs are. So therefore, I still like his music. And if I do hear his political beliefs, it's not going to be one of those things where I'm like, I'm turned off.
Well,
Luke Combs.
I stopped watching late night television because of all these guys that just bash. It just and it doesn't matter if they're bashing on the side I support or not. I just get tired of it. And then Bruce Springsteen, who I was never a really big fan. Now I'm not a fan at all. It just bash. It's like, it just gets old. Stop it. I all these celebrities that think they have a calling to tell everybody and they should listen to them about what their political beliefs are. I don't care.
Just let people live their life.
Exactly.
That's all there is to
I'm
it.
going to make my own decision. You're not going to influence me or encourage me. Just shut up and sing or shut up and act.
Yeah.
That's what Robert De Niro started going after the president. It's like, really? Come on, man. And all these ones that said, well, if he's going to be elected, I'm moving out of the country. Okay, well, I'm still waiting for them to move out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like, stop.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I don't like talking politics.
Oh, exactly.
It's just too divisive.
It's very divisive.
And it just, anyway.
But just know, you can avoid that.
So,
and if you turn on a WNBA game, you're not going to hear about a bunch of politics. Just enjoy it for what it is.
You say so.
But if you don't like it, you don't like it.
I don't like
That's
it.
fine.
I don't like it.
Everybody's different. And I understand that.
WNBA, I like it about as much as I love soccer. So there you go.
If you had to pick one to go. One stays, one goes.
WNBA's gone. See ya. Yeah. I would somehow, some way tolerate soccer. Even though, and trust me, I've been to a game. I've been forced to go to a game. I watched the game. I gave it a try. I just don't like it. And no offense to all of you guys that really support it. God bless you. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the fandom.
That's the end-all, be-all diss. God bless you.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, my gosh. It is. Just like the whole threat with the ladies' team here in town. Well, if we don't get support, we're going to be out of here. It's like somebody tweeted back into them, maybe win. Yeah. And I thought, God, that would help. Awesome.
That would help.
But sure. I just, as soon as you start complaining like that, that's not the thing you do. I'm not going to sit here, well, I'm going to stop doing this radio show because nobody listens or texts me. It's like, well, of course not. After you start talking like that, nobody wants to text or listen to the show. Sure. It's like, okay, it's fine. I mean, stop the complaining.
All right, what we got coming up on Just Cast today?
It's Corey Price Day. I mean, I have no idea. It's going to be up to him. But, yeah, of course I've got. Will Stein had the football kickoff yesterday here in Louisville, Churchill Downs. 700 strong is what they estimated. I got to meet Will Stein's mom yesterday.
Nice.
Yep, I was very happy about that. And I can tell you right now, Michael Bennett is never going to East Palestine, Ohio, just to let you know. 2 events have happened up there, and Man, the second one yesterday makes me even more so not want to go up there. So there you go.
Shots at East Palestine.
Oh,
Ohio.
absolutely. And I got a little surprise a little later on.
Woo!
Yeah,
I like surprises.
We're all going to enjoy. Well, unfortunately, the listeners won't be able to enjoy, but the three of us are going to enjoy.
Oh, that makes me even happier.
It does it really? Okay,
means
good.
it's food.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I never said food.
Why
do you just assume it's going to food?
Because if the three of us are going to enjoy it and the listeners don't get to, that tells me it's food.
Oh, okay.
And I like food.
That's right. Corey Price is bringing something in. But
yeah, he is.
If you don't know, it's Corey Price's birthday.
You'll hear it for the next 2 hours.
My goodness. How much is he going to say it's his birthday? What's the over-under? Let's go ahead and name it right now.
12.5.
Whoa, that big?
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm going 14.
Okay.
There you go. I'm going bigger. Might as well, because,
right.
Corey's got that big ego.
Absolutely. All right, Michael, we'll talk here in a couple minutes.
All right, sounds good. See you.
All right, that is Michael Bennett. Couple texts to get to here real quick before we get out of here. 48 Handley says, WNBA deserves the political activism aimed in their direction. They're no wallflower when it comes to politics. What about the two young girls who were approached by someone associated with the team and told they had to cover up their shirts, which addressed chromosomes? Anything from the league office on that? Yeah, I'm not going to touch that with a 6-foot pole. Buzz says Kyler Murray was a minor league baseball player while at Oklahoma. He was allowed to play football at the same time. He never left school. There have been others. The rules changed years ago to allow players to be in pros in one sport and continue their college career in another sport. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that, Buzz. Thanks for sending that along. Appreciate you for that. And thanks to everybody this morning. You all absolutely killed it today. I can't thank you enough for that on one of the last weeks of Summer Talk Radio. You all came through for your boy. So thanks for that. Thanks for watching on the YouTube, brought to you by Thornton's. I guess that'll be a common thing moving forward. But that'll wrap it up for us. Stay locked in with us here on Big X Sports Radio. Just the Cats is next. Coming right up.